That's your favorite song, isn't it?
How do you know?
Because it's my favorite song. Chickity, check yourself before you wreck yourself, son. This is what I have to endure while working out with my bandmate. You should be listening to our music so that we memorize it. But no! She probably got something that she shouldn't have. Alright, so what are you saying again?
Mortal Warfare.
Kano. Liu Kang. Johnny Cage. Do not beat the puppy. That is my puppy. Beth, come here, Mama. Come here. I'll show you. I'll put you on the camera. The camera loves puppies. Oh yeah, we're talking about the fourth verse.
Yeah, so I just want to spit something out. Like it's been something that's been catchy, and that it's a progression that we have. So.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying, what is it?
I just want to spit something out and be like, okay, well, let's talk about Brooklyn and strippers, and I'm like, what happens?
I think the metaphor that I said earlier would help. I mean, something to that effect. I think that would actually help the overall imagery of what we're trying to say, but not say.
Yeah.
To convey, but not convey. Even though I would rather just tell people straight out, but you want to do the smoke and mirrors thing, which is whatever. We are Chinese, if you please. Why doesn't anybody ever get on Walt Disney for that one, huh? Where's this SJWs with that one, huh? That was pretty racist. That was pretty racist. That was so racist. In fact, I could just go down the line to Disney movies that are racist. I mean, Mulan, Pocahontas, Aladdin, they picked on every nationality, And they're like, well, no, they're glorifying it. It's, it's cool. There's stories about, they're cool. It's like this, that, and the other. But if you really want to...
Like, John Smith and Pocahontas were romantic. No, John Smith raped.
Yeah, she was a kid. She was a kid.
It wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, you sons of war. Oh my gosh, your eyes are all blue and glowing on the camera. You're full of demons. I exorcise the devil out of my puppies. Oh man, the animal control league or whatever is gonna be on us for this one. They're like, they're beating that puppy. That metal band that nobody knows is beating that. They beat puppies. I had nothing to do with this. I don't condone it. In fact, I'll be the first to call you guys to come and get him, because that is unacceptable behavior. Animal cruelty. Where is Sarah McLachlan?
Where's Hillary Clinton?
What? Hillary?
We're beating up doggies now.
Oh, well, she's a dog. Let's beat her. Oh.
We don't beat your mama. Come here.
She's like, F you. I'm going to fight. I'm going to go fighty-bitey now. Fighty-bitey. When are we going to record, Beth? That'll be awesome. Oh crap. We're getting it on see? Look at that. Look at that. Beth, let go of her collar. What the heck is wrong with you? Guys. So going back to Britney Spears, she is a, like you say, MK Ultra. For the most part, we know that. For all intents and purposes. But, her story is so convoluted and so tragic. But the example that I'm trying to come up with is that she's gone back and forth, right, in terms of being under the influence, out of the influence, under the influence, out of the influence. Now, when we say that, we obviously mean she's been, had her children used against her, in terms of, well, we're going to take your kid away, and then your kids away, and then she she even had to deal with that in the court, right? So it's a big scare for her. You know, she loves her sons. At least she projects that. And for the longest time, you know, for all intents and purposes, her career was dead too. All right? We're looking at about pretty much the early 2000s when her career just plummeted. Then mid to late 2000s, we saw that new album came out between, was that it? The one with the 2012 song, which I kind of like. Whatever. That one album. Like, before all that, she was going through all that legal trouble. They were trying to get her under control. She shaved her head in front of the media. That's actually symbolic, they say, of breaking the spell, so to speak, breaking the MK Ultra spell, that you're free again because you're starting new or refresh. So, you know, she did that in public to make sure that they knew, to make sure that they saw it, to make sure that we saw it. And then she kind of died out. Then she came back up. Now, why did she come back up? Probably because they were telling her, you either perform or we're going to take care of you and your kids, or blah, 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 whatever other type of freaking demonry these sons of bitches want to convey or manipulate the people with, right? Okay, I'm ready to record now, so please don't distract me. If you got anything to say, let it out now. All they care about is their own satanic means, their own satanic narrative, their own satanic operation. And in doing so, they're going to do everything possible. So, long story short, with Britney Spears, she, I think, from all the stuff that I've looked into about her, she's made a deal to get out. Yeah. Now, how do we know this? Well, she started the Vegas, right. And she said in many interviews, not just here, but overseas in many of the magazines, hey, I found God or whatever, and she's been going to church, studying her Bible. You know, she's basically gone back to the roots that she was before. Basically, her family sold her out to Hollywood with, right? Or to the industry with. You know, that's what she's saying. She's like, I just want to get out. I want to get my kids. I want to get out. So now she wants to move back. I think she said...
To Louisiana?
Did she say Louisiana? Yeah, well, south. Somewhere south, I think.
She's from Georgia. She's from Louisiana.
Is she? Okay, well, I should know that by her accent. So she's going to do that.
And she's a Southern girl, so that makes a lot of sense.
What do you mean?
I mean, what they say, a lot of Southern girls have a lot of faith or whatever.
Oh, right.
They're church going, so.
Well, it's a Bible Belt, bro. So, yeah, that's true. But, as it were, she wants to go back and she wants to leave the industry permanently. In fact, she actually said that. I'm done. You know, once my contract is done with Vegas, I'm taking my kids and we're just going to retire. So that's another way of looking at it from an independent source. You know, she's trying to become independent, rather, much like Elijah Wood and many of the people that have tried to get out of the industry. You are who they say you are. Nation rise up, they fire! You see, the problem is, I'm not remembering the lyrics. And when you don't remember the lyrics, you kind of don't record properly. How do you screw up on the first word? I've never done. You This is the greatest job that I've ever had in my whole entire life. Yeah. Once we're done with this song, once we're done with this song, we're done with everything. I don't ever want to do this ever again.
You don't want to do...
I don't want to do anything ever again. You know what I do? I just want to sit down, play video games, watch the Charlotte Flair show, and eat corned beef hash. That's it. Maybe have a beer every now and again. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I want. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
What about outro song?
I don't want anything. I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah. Then you get to give me that track now.
I'll give you all the tracks. Are you kidding? It's I don't want to do anything. Okay. Okay, for real this time. I'm doing it this time. What are the words? I'm just kidding. For real, I'm gonna do it this time. All right. You are who they say. I messed up again. Keep starting in a low tone, like the first time I tried to record it incorrectly, and it's so frustrating. My heart is in it. My heart knows what's going on, but my brain is all like, I want to do what I want to do. You are who they say you are. Nation rise up. This is the start. Sons of truth shall tell the tale. The Savior sending them to hell. Holy macross. Alright, well, let's see how it sounded. I think I got it. And that's terribly commendable, but what I'm saying is that they have to know, much like, Cat Williams was saying, don't do it to the point where, you ruffle the feathers too much, be smart like Elijah Wood, stay out of the states, stay out of the cities, just do you, don't provocate them to the point where they're going to want to go after you again. If you want to be independent, stay independent. But I like your point in terms of, look, man, we should actually just be independent, period. I know you didn't really say that. I'm just kind of building upon it because you're right. It's like, why didn't Chevy Chase, after his career died or before his career died, just go independently and do his own thing? But again, like I said, it's a case-by-case basis,
and you can argue and say, I think Sam Kinison went that route here and there before he died. But the thing with Sam Kinison, he had the metal genre to kind of back him up, so people would go out there on the limb and do things. Go on tour with us or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like, we'll put out your show.
It would open up a lot of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of those guys kind of helped him. And I guess with Chevy, there was no Netflix deals, there was no internet at the time. There was
That's a good point.
No Amazon, there was no...
That was actually the point that I was going to come up with, but yeah, you're already on it because it is easier to be independent. That's why our music is independent, because we can actually get away with it. Now, obviously, we have to grow a base of customers, a base of listeners, but for the most part, once that's established, what's to stop us? What's to stop anybody that's trying to do something right and commercially viable? If it's commercially viable, it's going to stop. That's what commercially viable means, right? So, in this day and age of the digital market, it's terribly easy to do it. One of the reasons why I think, Dave Chappelle was on Netflix because he knew, he couldn't. He tried to do what he wanted to do in Comedy Central. They fought him every step of the way.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to get that reverse racism skit on there, Clayton Bixby. They, from what they said in interviews, him and the other writer, they were like, no, you're not gonna air that. And they're like, oh, okay, well then we're pulling the show. We're not gonna do this show anymore if you don't let us do it. This is us. This is the show. This is what we do. This is why we made this show. So finally, the network didn't have much choice but to cave in, and it helped. It helped Chappelle's show for a while, but I think Comedy Central knew after a while, them being Satanists, Luciferians,
I believe they're owned by Viacom, Satanist organization. You know, they knew that there was only going to be so long that they could keep them as much under control as they could. So he knew, well, I'm not going to get any viability in, you know, the mainstream stuff. So I'm going to go to the digital mainstream stuff, where the sky's still the limit. I mean, you have, you know, again, it's a case-by-case basis, because on an independent circuit, the bad guys have just as much capability as the good guys, so to speak. Quote-unquote, good guy, bad guy. Like Bill Nye is on Netflix. That's the worst damn TV show I've had to stomach. It has nothing to do with science. The guy's not even a scientist. Did you know that? He doesn't have a degree in science. So why he's talking about evolution, you know, creationism is stupid, and all this other stuff, and making fun of people because they don't believe in the farce that is evolution, is ridiculous. He's an engineer. He has a degree in engineering. Now, you need a little bit of science for engineering. I mean, I understand you need a lot of bit of science, but mainly math, which can be considered science, but not the science that he's putting his basis on in his programming, his television programming, his entertainment vessels. And what does gender appropriation or gender politics have to do with science anyway? One could argue, oh, it's biology. Okay, I'll give you some biology, I'll give you some science, I'll give you some reality, what's testable and what's not testable. A penis goes into a vagina. And boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Sure do.
Okay, so that's science. We can test that. We can see it, touch it, smell it. I'm just saying, right? That's science. So why are you there with that other chick that was singing a stupid song about, you know, her vagina can do so many things? It's like, first of all, don't need it. That's what the song was. She was literally saying. You haven't seen that? It's ridiculous. She was like, it could be with a boy or a girl, and this, that, and the other. And there's Bill Nye just clapping. Oh, you're a genius. And I'm like, that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, and what's funny is that in the 80s, he actually supported gender correction. Y and X chromosomes. He had a lesson on it. What makes a boy and what makes a girl, right? The Y chromosome, the X chromosome. He had that on his TV show. And now all of a sudden he's like, yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. I was wrong. It's like, ye vipers, ye snakes, ye hypocrites. You know? So, we do have that problem in the digital market because we've got a lot of vipers, snakes, and hypocrites in the digital market as well. But, you know, that's what I was saying earlier, dude. If we can get people to, you know, wake up and have that conscience stirred, you know, maybe we can, you know, help this revival that's happen where people start waking up to the truth and, you know, follow what they're supposed to follow, which is the Most High. But it's kind of sad, dude, when you see people like Will Ferrell, who well, maybe not you particularly, but people in general, you know, idolize. They think he's a comedic genius, and in many ways he is, even though most of the stuff he has is written for him. He's just got great timing. You know, for him to sit there in those, you know, dumbass mock cannibalism parties and spirit cooking parties, that's ridiculous, man. Why would I want to be entertained by that jerk anymore? That's advocating Crowleyan ideologies of cannibalism and pedophilia and child sacrifice. All these sons of bitches read those books. The Book of the Law, the Satanic Bible, you know, Allison Bailey's freaking writings. It's a prerequisite. You know, when you get in the industry, you got to know this stuff. You got to be witches and warlocks. I don't know, man. I just think it's kind of sad that when I was younger, I was played. You know, I hate that. I hate that feeling. I feel like I was psychologically, like I was spiritually raped. You know, yeah, you're like an innocent kid that had no idea what was going on, just laughing along with everyone else. While they did this stuff in plain sight, man. They always do it in plain sight. It's just sickening.
It's more now.
Absolutely. Because they were, well, that's a good observation. They're probably engaging her so that it's, well, obviously they're vultures, scavengers.
Yeah.
You have like, you know, those sensationalistic journalists, so to speak. We use the term journalists very loosely. But, you know, they have their job to do, and they hear where you are, and they're going to go to it. But it's all, I believe it's all orchestrated one way or another by the so-called gatekeepers. Well, it can be. But what I'm saying is, even that, I think, is orchestrated by the Luciferians on top, because they, you know, they have all that pseudo-consumerism within the industry, so that everybody's gnawing at each other and feeding off of each other, akin to what they have put in place as their overall entertainment apparatus. Ergo, you know, well, we want to make sure that Britney Spears is in control. She's in our control. So let her have her little vacation, but we need to send her reminders that she belongs to us. So how are they going to do that? Well, they'll send paparazzi to go mess with her as a reminder that, hey, you can go to church all you want. That's controlled by Satanism to begin with anyway. Paganism in the church, you know. But you're going to have to come back to us.
That verse when people were like, say, what is he thinking? That's words.
You know. So I don't know, I mean, her story is obviously not done yet, and I don't even know if she's ended her contract in Vegas yet. I don't know if she's still, or do you know if she's still in Vegas? Well, she is, you know, obviously I'm praying for her because I think she's sincere. I don't think she's been replaced. Well, I mean, why would you need to replace something that was supposedly programmed under MK Ultra mind control, you know? But I do pray that, you know, her and others that truly want to get out of the industry and at least are trying to follow, you know, the Most High, I think that they deserve that chance, you know? I think that they signed the contracts, they did the blood oath, but under what influence, you know? It's like a demonized person, you know? Yeah, you blame the free will, but like I used the analogy the other day, you have 7 or 8 people beating a person down, one person down. You're trying to fight, you know? You're trying to fight back, but it's not happening because you're basically being overpowered by all of these people. And the only way that you can actually win, unless you're it man, is other people helping you out. And it's the same with spirits, man. When, you know, when a person is afflicted with those disembodied spirits that are manipulating people against one another and their God, their Creator, they need help. You know, they need help. And that is, you know, that's why you pray for people like Britney Spears. Even Elijah Wood to be protected, because yeah, he's independent, he's in Austin now, he's, you know, trying to do his thing, and maybe we'll hit him up for a record contract. But the point is that you hear that, Elijah? I loved you in Spy Kids 3D, bro. You were the guy. Anyway, it's important to always pray, to pray in all things, the Scripture says, because these guys, man, they think they're in control, but they're not. They're in control of this world. The Bible tells us they're in control of this world, but isn't this world temporary? I mean, this prose is done, right? That's what the Scriptures tell us. This world will fade away, and the new world will rise. The real new world, not their fake ass new world order. More like new world odor. Smells like fart and fake perfume and farts. Yeah, and rotten tomatoes and nuclear waste.
And it smells like fish.
Well, Anyway, man, I just think that it'd be better if people were more conscientious about all this stuff, and it's important that people start talking out about it. I'm glad for the guys in the industry who are actually trying, you know. And whether, you know, like I said, it's all case-by-case basis. You know, they have their little moles here and there, and the Satanists have their little moles here and there, but, you know, for the most part, you can tell the sincere ones from the insincere ones. If you're a good judge of character.
I think speaking of the metal genre itself, the old school metals, most of even, I mean, the ones that came out 70s, 80s, 90s, even 2000s, early 2000s, even done a great deal, great job to be independent. And if they're not counting the industry, so props to them, because a lot of them have been saying the truth up there. A lot of those guys just, and they just kind of like, they left them alone, they let them be, which is kind of cool. Because, I mean, they let them do their thing. So they can't.
Well, it's not much, like they can do much about it anyway. They exhausted what they wanted to get out of them. And they did what they wanted to do out of them. Because a lot of them were under the blood oath. And who knows, they still may be, and they're trying to get out of it one way or another, but that's between them and, you know, the Most High. So no man can condemn them for that. But, you know, the industry, once they're done with you, they're going to be done with you. There's people, like I told you before, and you know this already, that, you know, they sign the blood oath and they never become anything but a signed artist. Never get any fame, never get any fortune. They got a signing bonus, they invested it, and it flopped. But their soul now belongs to Satan, you know, because they did the blood oath. They took the blood oath. And there's, you know, according to John Todd, who was an Illuminati insider, who's now missing, who exposed a lot of the stuff that went on in the music industry, that were all Satanists back in the day. You know, that happens all the time, where artists sign the blood oath, sell their soul to Satan, and they don't go anywhere. Their career doesn't go anywhere, and that happens a lot. So, you know, when the industry is, let me put it this way, when Satan is done with you, he's done with you. Yeah. And you really don't have anybody to blame but yourself for that, because you're the one signing that contract. You're the one agreeing to it. Say what?
So some people go into it naively thinking it's proper business.
I don't know if anybody, you know, I've heard that before. I wouldn't say that, I don't know if anybody is going into the blood oath naively.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. 400 children and the crop in the fields. We've had some bad times, but we've had some sad times. I don't know the words. I'm recording this because it is important to know how people do things in the everyday life. There's marking the store, purchasing beverages to drink with our Little Caesar pizzas. Cheese pizzas, pizza. We love the Little Caesar pizzas with the cheese and the sauce and the bread. It is like eating pizza. Wait, it is like eating pizza. I am losing my Russian accent. Was that even Russian or Scandinavian? I don't know. Now I'm changing my accent again. Uh-oh, look at him. He's on the move. I swear he's like a Pokemon. You gotta catch him. You gotta catch him. Look at 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 him. Now he's going to the counter harassing the dude. Man, why is this so expensive? Why can't you, come on, man. That's expensive. And the guy's all like, nah, brah. Nah. And he's like, fine. I'll pay.
I've had some bad times. They live. They're everywhere. Just kidding. Seriously, I'm scared. I'm just kidding again. Dude, why do you have to make conversations with people? Yakety 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 yak. The pizza's getting cold, brother. Brother trucker. Works here. He works here. He's like, I hardly call it work. That was a medley. And there's the rock star right now. There he goes. I was entertaining the folks with my quips and my metal. Gosh dang, that's a lot of beverage. And that's how we do.
And the reason I say that is because it's a blood oath. They're literally telling you, you sign this, your soul belongs to Satan, and you will be rich and famous until the day you die and you go to hell with Satan. They don't have any choice but to tell them that so that the person knows what's going on conscientiously, because they're under the rule of the Most High, and He makes sure that they tell them that. So I wouldn't say that they're going into it naively, but again, case-by-case basis, it is what it is. And, you know, bands that are trying to do what's right now, you know, whether they're under the blood oath or they found the Most High to break that oath, because He can. You don't have to go to hell, even though you signed it. You can be forgiven. Satan is not the end of the law, so the Most High is. So if you repent and you believe in His Son Yeshua the Christ, you can be saved, even if you sign the blood oath.
How long has John Todd been missing?
Since the late 70s. No, I'm sorry, since the mid-80s, I think.
Really?
No, he started his thing in about in the 90s, I think. And then around then, he was missing. It's highly probable that he's not alive anymore. You know, it's highly probable that they kind of smoked him. But who knows, man? I mean, he was part of the bloodlines, you know. So he definitively knew what was going on in terms of the bloodlines, the politics, the orchestration. He knew it all. He was born into it. John Todd's not even his real name. And he talked about how he worked in one of those New Age places, where they sell all that New Age stuff, which is actually just occultism.
Yeah.
Like our drummer Mike works at.
Yeah. That millennial guy.
He worked in one of those places, and that's when a preacher came in and noticed what was going on. He tells the story pretty well, John Todd, and he says, this guy challenged me. And he was like, and I was literally trying to get every incantation, every spell against him, but the preacher would not falter. And he led me to Christ. And I was like, that is awesome, But he was in the bloodline. He's part of the family. So it's not safe to say, but it is interesting to say that he might have actually, faked his own death, got out of it because he had the resources. I mean, they cut him off, but not before he was able to, blanket himself, so to speak, with some security. Because he seems like a very intelligent dude. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was the head executive of Zodiac Productions. Now, Zodiac Productions was the biggest A&R label in the United States and abroad. So we're not talking about some little biatch, This was the guy.
Yeah, I've done some
But
Very interesting.
who knows, you know, whether he was, whether he's dead or not. But the point is that his work isn't dead. You know, he exposed a lot of stuff. It's been confirmed. It's not just some guy talking BS. And I think more and more people are learning about it, which is good. You know, it needs to be exposed.
Yeah.
The Bible tells us what was done in the dark will be shown in the light. I do believe we're living in those days, says the blind man.
Definitely.
Thanks. Shower for me.
Ignorance is bliss is how it is.
No, I mean, yeah, that's what's perceived. But to be honest with you,
Just stupid.
ignorance is something that's definitive and real, and we can attribute a lot of stuff that happens to us because of, you know, agendas and, you know, paradigms and narratives and apparatuses and all this other crap. But in reality, it really does have a lot to do with ignorance. So it's like, you know, these bad guys, you know, knew all this stuff way before we learned it, and they learned it from fallen angels for the most part. We all know that crap. But like, the reality is like, you know, what is it that we can learn and cannot learn according to the things that we see before us? And unfortunately, you know, when you're dealing with all of this techno sorcery, all this crap that they do to us, you know, it has a tendency to mess us up. It has a tendency to blind us, and you know, a lot of people could hail it's not fair. It's not fair, and to a degree, it isn't fair. But again, you know, whether it's a military-industrial complex, medical-industrial complex, prison-industrial complex, you know, barbecue-industrial complex, whatever it is.
Barbecue.
Yeah, it's real, bro. It's real. It doesn't really matter to an extent, because ultimately, again, our enemy is ourselves. You know, we condemn ourselves into doing mass atrocities. We condemn ourselves, you know, to sin, and it's up to us to turn that frown upside down. You know what I mean?
When you're in the company of
The ladies.
regardless of what religion, they have faith. They've always been after God's heart. So you gotta respect, you know, and they're open to that's the faith, but they're open to knowledge, and that's cool.
Gnosis.
That's
Well, like I said, iron sharpens iron. I'm completely comfortable in front of the camera because it's all about me.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
That's all about me. It's not
It's
enough.
like we're going through
Changes.
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 Like all these vocal like acrobatics, you know, like I am not.
Vocal acrobatics.
Yeah. Time changes. It's just,
No.
what are we? Are we like Dream Theater or something?
Ooh, man, I wish.
You know?
Pull my finger, pull my finger, pull my finger, I'm not afraid. That's how that song goes, right?
That's not how it goes.
Are you sure?
Pull my finger. I'm not afraid. I don't think that's how it goes.
Well, why would he be afraid if somebody else is pulling his finger, using control
He's
of the
probably-
gas?
He's probably gonna fart. That's why
Right.
he's like.
So
I'm-
he's
I
in
am not
control. So
afraid.
why would he be afraid?
He's not. He's telling you, I am not afraid.
Exactly.
Pull my finger.
Pull my finger,
And
I'm
see
not
what
afraid.
happens. See what happens.
But the person that's going to pull the finger,
Should
they
be
probably
afraid.
should be afraid.
Because it's, you know, a lot of flatulence
Mm.
that comes along with that.
Mm.
A lot of, you know, Gotham by Gaslight, you know.
Gotham, but you put a Batman reference.
I did.
Wow. Have you seen it?
You know, I'm actually very curious to see it. Though. It
I'm
looks
not.
really good.
You know why I'm not?
Hmm.
Because they kind of do this kind of stuff often in the Elsewheres or the Elsewhere universe.
Oh, yeah.
And to see it animated is kind of like, that's all you guys got? To me, I want to see more stuff like, even though Batman and Harley Quinn wasn't really received very well, well, mainly because when you have fart jokes with Harley farting in the Batmobile, and then she has intercourse with Nightwing,
Wow, what a horror.
you know, it's like it kind of throws people off. But you know, you and I know why they do stuff like that, social engineering. But you know, overall, in terms of concept, it's within the normal continuity of the Batman animated series universe, which I actually felt was cool. I like that. I like, you know, it being canon and continuity. I don't know if I'm into the whole Elseworlds things or the non-canon stuff. It may work in certain instances, but I didn't buy it. I want more canonical stuff. Canonical stuff. How do you say that? Canonical.
I'm not sure.
Reptilian baby's gonna die.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
I want to see it though. It kind of it piques my curiosity because he lights his Zeppelin on fire and he freaking burns it to the ground, you know, whatever. And Catwoman's like this, like mysterious, like Victorian person.
Well, isn't he involved with? Oh, he's involved with Barbara Gordon in that movie, right?
I believe so.
I think they got something going on. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so. But I do think that the idea of him, a nemesis being Jack the Ripper, right? That's right?
Yeah.
It's his arch enemy is Jack the Ripper. I think that's interesting, and it's what a lot of people would like to see, which is why I got greenlit. But for me, for my money, when it comes to quick thrills, I would rather just stick to things that I'm familiar with, I guess. You know, I don't have much time to go in there and get all extracurricular and say, well, let's go ahead and look into this other aspect of Batman's life, you know. Do you have some spare time? It's like, no, Jigga, I ain't got no time.
Well, I mean, there's the turn of the century, which would be the 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s. So I can see where they're doing like a whole like a back in time thing, and that's cool. That's cool, but I mean, if it's Jack the Ripper, I mean, I think that's awesome, dude. That's somebody he's never fought.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. I want to see it. Actually, you know what? Just turn that camera off. Let's just go see it.
All right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
To the measure.
So you have planned to do that.
Yeah.
So you're gonna sing the intro, and then right after you're gonna sing. You're gonna go right into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only thing that I would be concerned with is the 12 measures, because that's where that's where it consolidates. Remember, that's where the guitar consolidates, and it's no longer the meter, or the notes rather that you were playing, that you were singing against or with rather, for the 7/5/3 measures. And you wear red a lot too. I notice these days.
So yeah, that guy, the one that
Have y'all ever seen his tattoos?
blue and red, usually blue and red.
They're stars.
So yeah.
And you know why? Because when the cops pull him over and they tell him hands up, and he puts his hands up like this, the stars are inverted. And and that's when they're telling the cops, because the cops are all Satanists, and they're like, oh, okay, forget it, he's cool.
My stars have nothing to do with
I'm gonna get some flack on this one. Like, cops are gonna be like, I'm just kidding.
Those pigtails, bro, are one of a kind.
Two of a kind.
Two of a kind.
You people may be wondering why I have these pigtails on.
I'm wondering on ever since I walked in the house. I'm just curious.
I won't give you an answer, but you can raise the question. I'm the greatest person ever to be humble.
I don't see that. I'm still waiting.
He's the greatest person ever to be humble. Metal, doggy. Is it time to get metal? Do you want to sing? Do you want to sing, people? Do you want to sing metal? Queen on the ride! Sing, puppy! She's like, no, the camera's on. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? I'm not your trained dog. I'm not your trained dog to do what you tell me to do. I do what I want.
She's like the frog from the From the Looney Tunes?
Yeah. Bailey, Bailey, Bailey.
She actually does sing like crazy.
Jeff Tate would be proud. Look at this dog, metal puppy. Stubbies.
Your little stubby.
Greatest metal puppy ever. Now go bring some beer. Do you have any closing words for the nice people? All 12 of our subscribers. Our 13th subscriber left.
You did?
You know what? I don't harbor any ill will towards you, you son of a.
Well, 13's not a good number.
You know what? It would have been a better number if somebody would have come in as 14. But I'm not hating.
You ain't hating?
No, y'all hating me. I ain't hating you.
Well, probably because we need to put more music out. More.
You're right. So we should finish doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see that?
I just want to say peace and chicken grease.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm not a big fan of the cycle or the treadmill or the crosswalk. I hate ab crunches. Any treadmill. I don't like the weights, medicine balls, ropes. I don't like it. And you know, they invent pills to pretty much do anything. They should just invent a Superman body pill. I would take that. I love the natural remedies, but yeah, this is meh. No, I don't want to do anything. No, not a cuchara.